Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a collective reading for your highest good. Hope you're all having a wonderful day today, or whenever you are finding this video or receiving these messages. We're going to get right into it and see what Spirit has to say to you today, what messages are available for the collective in this moment. What energy? All right, we are starting off with the High Priestess. Okay, the High Priestess, intuition, the High Priestess knows what she's here to do. So, with this card coming out in the beginning of the spread, and the overall energy, I'm feeling that there's something very particular that you are here to do. Okay. What's hidden? What's the hidden pattern that's influencing this High Priestess energy? Oh, this card just flew across the table. Okay, this is the truth. Ace of Swords, clarity. There's some type of clarity that you have that's influencing. Oh yeah, definitely. And we have the Sun here. That's definitely something being brought to light, something being seen very clearly. With the sun reveals. It's not only joy and happiness, but it shines light on truths that need to be seen. And we have abundance. The Nine of Coins. Okay, this is independent abundance here, and this is the choice. This is the crossroad. All right, and what's the lesson the collective is needing to learn from these messages? What is the lesson here? The lesson, the Hanging Man, seeing things from a new perspective. We have a lot of clarity in this reading. There's something that you're realizing, some truth that's coming to the light. You're choosing independence, independent abundance, because you've learned to see things from a new perspective. On the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Cups. This is mastering your emotions, learning to, not learning to, this is the King of Cups is mastering your emotions. So something this has something to do with your happiness. It's seeing a new perspective. It's understanding that your happiness is coming from independence, from self-reliance. And this is clarity. This is something that you may be discovering. I mean, truly discovering and understanding with the High Priestess here. The High Priestess, your intuition. Not only your intuition, the High Priestess knows what she is here to do. She knows that she comes with a life purpose. And it feels like maybe you are understanding something. You are gaining clarity about your purpose. Let's dig into the tarot and see what these messages, what's coming through in this energy. I'm also drawn to this King of Cups here. The King of Cups, this is the energy of weathering storms, being able to weather storms, being in control of your emotions, understanding, first of all, understanding your emotions, and not allowing your emotions to lead you, but you actually, because you understand the purpose of your emotions, you regulating your own emotions and using them to lead you in your life. Knowing the full power of your emotions. Because you've been through all the gamut of emotions. And so you finally understand. You have mastered controlling your emotions and understanding how to and when to engage emotionally. You're someone who's very understanding, very logical, very empathetic when it's called for. You're someone who can weather the storms, the emotional storms. King of Cups is very powerful. I feel like the emotions are the most powerful when it comes to manifestation, the feeling. When it comes to creating the life that you want, I feel that mastering your emotions is at the top of the list. It's so important because your emotions are your guidance system. Your feelings are your guidance. Your guidance are a part of your guidance system. All right, let's dig in. What is the What does the collective need to know about this High Priestess energy? I don't know why my energy, I'm feeling a little... Uh-oh. Bear with me, guys. You have the King of Wands. Taking authority. So you understand what you need to do. You have an understanding. You have a vision for your life with this High Priestess energy. And you're taking authority over what you've been called to do. Okay, what else? We have the Three of Swords here. There was a betrayal. You have clarity about this betrayal. So you've taken authority. We have the Three of Swords and the Ten of Cups. So whatever this betrayal was, whatever this heartbreak, someone broke your heart. But this was the catalyst for you to take authority over your life. This was the catalyst for you to go deeper in your understanding and really begin to focus on your Ten of Cups, your happiness. But something tried to betray this happiness. This High Priestess sees. Okay. Is there anything else about this High Priestess energy? Okay. We have self-love. An overflowing of self-love. Came after this betrayal, though. So it was after the betrayal that you found your happiness in self-love. You found this happiness in your environment, in your family. Yeah, true joy, wish fulfillment. And you learned how to love yourself. You're loving yourself. This is the energy that you're in right now. You're taking authority over your life, even though you may still feel the ache of this. But this is what opened your heart. I think I talked about that in a reading already, how when you something about when your heart is when you experience betrayal and heartbreak, it kind of opens you up to the idea, first of all, let you know that you carry deep feelings, right? If you don't have deep feelings, you can't truly love someone. If you can't love, then you cannot experience a broken heart. You won't experience betrayal. Not in a way that truly breaks your heart. But when you get your heart broken, what I'm hearing is it opens you up to what love really is and the true value of love, the true meaning of love, to truly give yourself over to something and make yourself vulnerable enough to be hurt. So it was through this hurt that you found your happiness. And now you're overflowing with self-love, with emotion. Again, we have this King of Cups. I'm thinking about this King of Cups. And maybe this is what led you to this King of Cups energy. Learning the power of your emotions. And with the King of Wands, you have mastered this. You have taken control of this. You are in control of this situation. This is your current energy. Okay. The Ace of Swords. Yep. Once you receive clarity, so you have clarity about this situation that allowed you to move forward. You move to calmer waters. It's because you moved to calmer waters. You learned through this broken heart, through this hurt, pain, through heartbreak. You learned that it's important for you to move on. We have the Tower in reverse. So whatever this tower was, the tower is the destruction of a reality in order to rebuild something that wasn't working. The Tower in reverse is this did not totally destroy you. There is an ending, but it wasn't total destruction. It wasn't a total ending. Okay? Tell me about the Tower in reverse. Or this could be, you move to calmer waters. I'm just going to take it as I'm getting it. Okay? So there was movement here with the clarity. We're in the position of the hidden pattern, the dynamic that influenced the situation. It's you moving to calmer waters. Moving towards in the direction of the Tower in reverse. The Tower comes to tear down something that's not working, something that needs, a false reality, So this Tower in reverse is not a total ending. It's not a complete destruction, but something did end. Okay, you did move towards an ending, but it's not total destruction. And because when the Tower happened, it's a complete restructure of your life, your entire life. You know, it's that moment where it feels like everything is falling apart. You know, the life that you have known is no longer, and it's very sudden and it's very quick. And it's usually because you stayed somewhere too long. You've stayed in a broken situation too long. The foundation can no longer hold. And so there's this sudden ending of everything. Okay. Total life change. The Tower in reverse is saying that there was an ending, but it did not completely, it wasn't a complete and total destruction of your life. In other words, maybe you walked away from the relationship, but everything else in your life stayed the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was an ending to something, but it wasn't total destruction. And maybe you avoided the total Tower because you moved away, because you left. You left before the Tower could happen. You avoided total destruction by leaving and moving to calmer waters. And here with the Page of Wands, you learned a new perspective. You set your eyes on something else. You understood that you needed to change your focus. You started following your passion. And this is interesting because sometimes we can avoid the Tower, right? The Tower happens when you're in a state of denial or you're holding on to something, you won't let it end. But in this case, you avoided total destruction because it was coming. The Tower is here, okay? It was coming. You knew something needed to end, and you took courage. You had clarity. You were very clear about the fact that whatever this was, whatever broke your heart, there was a need for you to move away. And you did that. Sometimes we hold on to things so tightly because we don't want it to end. We hold on to relationships, to people, to things to situations that are breaking our heart, literally, are very painful situations, because we can't let go. But it feels like you let go before this could happen. And so you avoided total destruction by refocusing your energy. You focused on what you really want, is what you did. You got something, a new idea, a new perspective. You started focusing your energy towards something that you truly desire. So you changed your attention, is what you did. You redirected your attention. And that allowed you to move away. This is great. This is growth. Okay? This is the Sun. What needs to be acknowledged? You started focusing on what you really want, and you put the burdens down. You stopped carrying burdens that you shouldn't be carrying. You put the burden of the heartbreak down. You took authority and you stopped carrying burdens. You took authority over your life. You got a new vision. The King of Wands has a vision for his life. Oh, this is it. I'm getting it now. When I said the high priestess has a vision for her life, she knows what she comes here to do, what her life purpose is. The King of Wands has vision. He's a visionary. This is someone who is creative, but this is someone who comes to lead and to influence by his actions. The King of Wands is an influencer. This is a motivator. This is someone who is inspirational. So you came here to do this, to create, to bring your vision to life. And it's a life purpose here. This is your life purpose with the high priestess. The high priestess is carrying the book of life. Okay, you can see this scroll here. So this is, what you came here to do. Subconsciously, you're attracted to your purpose. And so, or intuitively and subconsciously, you're attracted to your purpose. You have the vision, you have the leadership. You came here to lead, to influence others by the actions that you take. And so the actions that you take when you get your heartbreak, you're setting a good example here. You experienced heartbreak, and that clearly was a burden, but you still kept your eyes set on your happiness and self-love. So just because you love yourself doesn't mean that you can't experience heartbreak, right? But when you love yourself, you leave when you're supposed to leave. When your happiness is important to you and you have clarity about what that is, and you love yourself. Self-love is so important to you that you can't stay in this situation. You move away and you avoid destruction in your life because you took authority and you moved away. You understood the importance of this. You changed your focus and understood, got back on your path with the Page of Wands. You got back on your path and you put this burden down, right? Because you have this vision for your life. You know exactly where the direction that you're supposed to be going in. And so this is you taking authority. This is how you lead yourself. You're someone who leads yourself. You're setting a good example here. Okay, so you put the burdens down. This is the energy of the sun. And this is the truth that needs to be acknowledged and recognized, right? Is that your happiness is important to you. And when your happiness is important to you, your joy, you understand that you need to function here. Your purpose is, or your purpose in this moment, right? We do need the contrast in our life, but it's the contrast that is supposed to redirect us towards what we really want. A lot of times we ignore the signs. We ignore the signs and we try to change things that we're not supposed to try to change. We're supposed to see it as it is, right? And when you see it as it is, clarity, and you accept it as it is, because you really can't change other people. You really can't change because contrast is there to teach you. And part of teaching you is for you to see something, for you to understand something. We have the Ace of Swords here. This is clarity. For you to get a new understanding. Okay, oh, I see it, understanding. I see what it is. Well, you accept it and you move in the direction of the most positive thing that you can do for yourself. Is focus on your happiness, focus on self-love, and leave. And leave. Okay. Oops. Sorry, guys. The card fell on the floor. Okay. And guess what? Put down burdens and you're not fighting. This is the Five of Swords reversed. The Five of Swords upright is winning at all costs, hollow victories. This is someone who wants to dominate a situation, someone who weaponizes communication, someone who uses words and their actions in ways that are harmful to others without care. Okay, but you are not dealing with this type of energy. This is the energy that you put down. Just like you stopped carrying other people's burdens, you're not fighting with anyone. Period. You're not fighting. Okay? What else does the collective need to know about this beautiful sun energy? Yeah, because you're being guided. You definitely have guidance here. You're following your peace, your hope. You're being guided by something higher, by God, by the highest, by your angels, by your guides, by your ancestors. You have guidance, and you are following that guidance. So you are not doing any of this. You are focused on what it is that you have come here to do. And you are in the sun energy. This is the energy of the truth here in the third position. What needs to be recognized and acknowledged is something that is true. And what you are recognizing is your happiness is important. It is important. Okay, tell me about the coins, the 9 of coins. This is independent. You are successful on your own. Look at this. Self-love, learning to walk away from painful situations. 10 of Pentacles. You're the boss of your life. This is in the position of the crossroads, the choice that's available to you. If you choose to continue to be, this is self-reliance. This is independent on your own. This is growing your own gardens and understanding your power and having with the bird's eye view, right, of your life. Being on high, right? Not higher than others, but seeing things from a higher perspective, living your life from a higher perspective. Operating your energy from a place of truly being abundant is making you the boss of your life. The King of Pentacles is a boss. Successful, abundant, logical, strategic, knowing how to be a good steward over everything, enjoying his life. This is putting you in a very comfortable tonight, even with the 9 of coins, very comfortable. You're very comfortable. And you chose this. You chose to be comfortable. And I listen. You are like, nope to burdens, nope to drama, to fighting, to winning at all. No to this. I'm following I have hope. I'm a positive person. I am staying balanced in the direction that I am being called to. Okay, balanced in my emotions. I'm going towards my happiness and loving myself and loving life, and this is important to me because I want to be comfortable. I want to live an abundant life and I want to be comfortable. That's the energy that you're in. That's the choice. That is the choice that you made. And this is you setting a good example, a wonderful example for others. Not just by your words, but by your actions. There's a lot of action here, a lot of movement in these cards. And this is great. This is learning. This is living. The art of living is what you're practicing here. Okay. Anything else about the Nine of Coins? We have the Knight of Swords here. Yep. The Knight of Swords sees something, sees a truth, recognizes a truth about something, an action. This is someone who recognizes when it's time to take action, and he takes action towards resolution. He takes swift action, okay, when he realizes a truth. He takes swift action towards it. This knight is looking right at this King of Pentacles. You did not hesitate. You don't hesitate to resolve issues. You don't hesitate to move on. You do not hesitate to avoid destruction. The moment you see it, when you see that you need to move on, you move. When you see that destruction is, this situation is not a good situation for me, and if I don't do something about it, if I don't move, this can destroy my life. This is destructive to my life. You take action. You move to resolution right away. You don't hesitate at all. I love it. All right. Anything else about the Nine of Coins? And this is what abundant people do. This is why you're independent and abundant and self-sufficient and just truly enjoying your life. This keeps you in that place of security for yourself. We have the Three of Wands because you expect good things. Like you have a very positive outlook on life. You understand the power of making a plan and expecting good things to come. You are someone who truly has vision. You expect good things to come towards you. You can see. You have vision. This Three of Wands is right on top of the Tower reverse. You saw it coming. You saw the Tower coming. You knew you needed to focus on your passions. Get to a place where you could focus on your passions. You could focus on your desires and whatever it is that you were called to do. You knew you needed to get to this place. You saw it. So you're someone who has vision. Absolutely. Someone who can see what's coming. With this high priestess energy, you're very intuitive. You might even be a little psychic, being able to, especially I'm drawn to the high priestess and the king of cups. This is a high level of intuition, a high level of being connected to your emotions and your feelings. But not only that, to the spirit realm. The King of Wands is also connected to the spirit realm, and so is the high priestess. So your emotions are the conduit, okay? Are the conduit from spirit. It feels like you feel things very, very strongly. And because you feel things very strongly, you can anticipate things to come. And when you can anticipate things to come, you can avoid destruction in your life. Okay, let's move on. The Hanging Man. This is surrender and seeing things from a new perspective. Okay, we got 2 cards here. We have the 4 of Wands. This is stability. This could be, this is stability for me. This is the card of stability in your home life, stability in your family, coming together for celebrations, family gatherings, weddings. This could also be the wedding card. But a coming together for the purpose of celebration, which is so important, right? Most of us look forward to these things in our lives. It gives us a sense of stability. It gives us a sense of having a support system, people around you, just being in a very stable energy and sharing that energy with others. And the Ace of Wands, creativity. You see things, you see I'm looking at the hand here. I'm drawn to this hand. You were given, this is something that you're very passionate about. This Ace of Wands represent new ideas. New ideas, things that you're passionate about, things you're someone who is, you're probably abundant with ideas. You want growth, and stability encourages growth. But you're someone who is full of new ideas. You're very passionate. A lot of wand energy here. Very, very passionate. All right. When you surrender to a situation with the Hanging Man, when you surrender, you see things differently. It gives you a new perspective, but not only does it give you a new perspective, it gives you a new way of seeing things. So you have the ability to see things differently. You have the ability to see your environment in a new way, to harness new ideas, new creativity, things that can help you grow. And then we have another wand here, the Knight of Wands. And you know how to act, you know how to take action. You take action when you get the new perspective, when you see the new idea, the new understanding, this new way of doing things, or you feel drawn to things. You follow your highest excitement. So you know how to just pause. The Hanging Man is paused, right? Maybe in meditation. This could be meditation. This could be anything that causes, this could be just being silent. But this is just not moving, and it's pausing and allowing total surrender. So it's not action. This is a cease from action, a cease from changing things. It's being in full acceptance of whatever it is that you are experiencing or whatever it is that's going on in your life. It's important that you accept it, to be in full acceptance. When you accept something as it is, that's when you allow, because you're not resisting, you're not trying to change, you're not trying to fix, you're not trying, okay? You are in full acceptance. This is what it is. And so you allow the new perspective to come to you. That's how the divine cannot speak to you. Your spirit guides cannot speak to you if you are full of noise or you are always trying to fix things, okay? The divine will wait for you to get out of the way. The hanging man is the energy of moving out of the way so that the new perspective can come in, so that spirit, you can hear your your higher self speaking to you. You can receive that intuition. You can receive that inner guidance, that inner knowing, that new spark, that new idea, that new, that new passion, a different way to go about something. And then you follow it. You receive it, you pause, you accept what's going on, right? In your environment, in your home, in whatever situation you find, you accept what it is, okay? From a foundational place. This is what it is. You allow the new idea to come in, and then you take action on that passion, on that new ideal. And all right, let's conclude this reading. Anything else the collective needs to know here? Queen of Swords. Take action with clarity. You understand, you have clarity, you're a clear thinker, you're not confused about anything. And it's because you've done the inner work. You've done the inner work. And so now, because as you're taking action, you're speaking truths. You're speaking. That's important. With the swords, we're talking about communication. So you have the vision, and then you begin to speak the truth. And that brings the vision to life, right? Power in your words. And there's transformation here. That allows for transformation. There is transformation. We're always transforming. Always transforming. Allowing old versions of ourselves to end. Always recreating ourselves. Every cell in your body recreates itself. Okay? We are always recreating ourselves, allowing parts of us to end so that our soul can evolve. That's what we're here to do, is evolve. And that's what this reading is about. It's about evolution and allowing yourself to grow and evolve. Stop to not do it in fear. There's no fear here in this reading. It's all evolution. It's all understanding. This is a very important reading, and I'm glad I got to do it for you. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Cups. Nostalgia. To me, this is remembering who you are. Remembering where you came from. Remembering. This is about remembering. Remembering who you are. Who you truly are. What you came here to do. Remembering your inner child. And honoring that memory. Honoring your purpose. What you came here to do. The High Priestess knows her purpose. Okay, guys, that was your reading. I hope it was helpful. I hope it was insightful. I hope that you learned something. And if this is your journey, I want to encourage you to continue, because you are truly an inspiration to others. And it's not even inspiration by words. It's inspiration by just you living your life. You are inspiring people by setting a good example and following your purpose and the vision that you have for your life, and just being your authentic self. And that in itself is so powerful, so powerful. Being connected to your inner child, that's who you are, right? That's the thing that we tend to forget. But if this is your reading and it relates, you are on the right path, and you are a true example for others who are witnessing you live your life. So continue on, and thank you for joining me. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next one.